first starting off with the Beauty of ᴅᴢ sunscreen, which I'm using as my primer. I realized that over moisturizing my face a little bit at the beginning makes it easier to blend out all my makeup later on. Then I apply a thin layer of the L'Oreal Infallible foundation on my face. Then I use a spatula to evenly spread it out. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've been using the spatula in almost all my makeup tutorials. Then using a damp sponge, dab it all over your face. After each makeup step, go in with a layer of about 3 to 4 sprays of setting spray. The setting spray is what really helps keep your makeup lasting the entire day, so make sure you're using a good one. With a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than your foundation shade, apply it on your under eyes, your forehead, tip of nose, bridge of nose, under your brows, around the shadows of your nose, and corners of your mouth. I'm using the Hourglass concealer in the shade Drift, and keep in mind with this concealer that a little bit goes a long way. After a minute or two, I highly recommend dabbing in with a smaller sponge. Do not press too hard around your concealer spots. I like to blend my under eyes last because I want the most coverage in this area. This has been my current favorite blush shade as of right now, and it's the Saie Beauty Dewy Blush, and in the shade Lady. I've realized that clean girl makeup always aids with dewy natural colored blushes. When going for a clean girl look, my technique for when I blend my blush is to blend it from my cheekbones up to my temples and blending it down to right below the middle of my eye. Other than the eyes, clean girl makeup looks have the blush as accent of the look, so you want a blush that matches well with your skin tone. For the contour, I like to use contour sticks because it gives me more control compared to liquid contours, and I use it to accentuate the pre-existing shadows on my face rather than making new shadows. Places I recommend adding your contour if you're not too sure yet about your pre-existing shadows, it's below your cheekbone, above your forehead, and around the bridge of your nose. I recommend investing in a good contour brush that blends in your contour easily, like this Hourglass one, although it is a bit pricey. And for your forehead contour, make sure you're blending it to your hairline or else it'll show a natural line. And I use a different brush to blend out my nose contour for more precision. My usual nose map is a button nose type of contour, but you can test out different types of contours to see which one fits your nose the best. Other than cream contours, you can use powdered contours for a more matte or defined look. Personally, I like cream contours because they're easier to blend and they have a more natural skin-like finish. I then trick my nose more by applying concealer around the outside of the area where we blended the contour, as well as the tip of the nose. Moving on to the brows, we want some natural brows. If you're not sure about what the shape of your brows should be, my rule of thumb is to match the lines of your nose to your brows like how I'm doing here. I'm using the Anastasia brow pencil in the shade Chocolate. And as you can see, I have very sparse brows, so I'll be filling it in with a brow pencil, but if you have nice brows, I'm jealous of you, and I recommend just using clear gel to shape them instead. I like to start off by filling in my brows really lightly because I know I can go darker later on. Plus, as I said, we're going for a more natural brow look since it's a clean girl look. Since I'm blonde, I use a brow gel to lighten up my brows. Of course, if you have a darker hair color, this is optional, but at the same time, I realize it does soften your face when you use a light colored brow gel with dark hair. I'm using the Esport Brow Color Fixer in the shade Beige. Let's dab on that concealer around our nose that I might have almost forgotten about. Now I go in with the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Powder to bake my face. I apply it below where I blended my contour earlier, my T-zone, which includes my forehead, the sides of my nose, the bridge, and the tip. And then for my favorite makeup step, we have our Telescopic Mascara by L'Oreal, who is actually our sponsor for this video. As a backstory, I actually used this mascara for years during high school, and it's a holy grail in a lot of my friends' makeup routines. It makes lashes super long and lasts long. Make sure to not forget to apply mascara on your lower lashes, because I realize a lot of people do forget to do this step. To match the brows, I use a brown eyeliner to make a very natural looking wing. This is a Flower Nose eyeliner in the shade number 2. I love how thin the tip is. So natural to the point that can be mistaken for a lash. This has been another recent favorite and one of Huda Beauty's new recent releases, the Huda Beauty lip stains. I love how they're easy to use like a marker and they last all day. And it doesn't dry out my lips super bad like other lip stains I've tried. Now let's use a brush to lightly brush off all the powder that we were using to bake our face earlier. I like using one big brush for my jaw area and then one small brush for around my nose area. After brushing it off, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of contour to make it look more defined. Then this is one of my favorite steps just because I love the glitter, but we're gonna highlight our face now. We're gonna start at the tip of our nose, then the bridge, inner corner of our eyes, above our lip, and then underneath our brow. I feel that highlighter is such an underestimated makeup step because not many people use highlighter, especially when they go for matte makeup looks, but I personally think it helps so much with making areas of my face stand out, especially the eyes. To lock in my entire makeup look, I'm using the One Size Powder Melt setting spray, and it helps a lot with making my makeup look glowy yet last all day. My makeup tends to become dry throughout the day the longer I wear it, but the setting spray helps with keeping the moisture in my skin. I'm gonna finish off with putting highlight above my cheekbones. I'm using the same One Size highlighter I used earlier. layer. And that's the finished look. I'm obsessed with how it turned out. Super glowy, but still really wearable. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a lot more beauty content coming your way. And let me know if you try this makeup routine for yourself. I hope it beats school air and lasts the entire day for you. I will also link all the products I used in the description so you can check them out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, beauties!